So earlier you heard us do the box office numbers for for Jackass Forever. Here now we have a story, and this is why it might end up doing better next week, or at least it won't lose as much of its box office, because PETA calls for criminal investigation into Jackass Forever animal stunts. And then you see this incredible photo here of Johnny Knoxville getting just absolutely decimated by a bull.
Yep.
So it says, PETA has claimed that the new Jackass film includes scenes which violate animal cruelty laws, which has led the organization to calling for a criminal investigation to be carried out. Letters sent to the LA city attorney and San Luis Obispo county DA, the charity, say that the cast and crew likely broke state and animal protection laws.
Yeah.
I like how they say likely. People for the ethical treatment of animals say that the issues include a spider being provoked into biting an actor's chest, a turtle harassed and goaded to bite someone's testicles, and a snake harangued and provoked into chomping someone's nose. Can you do me a favor? Can you go look up cringe PETA tweets?
Okay.
They have a history of very, very blatantly...
Well, you remember when I brought up like the human fashion show that PETA did?
Yep. Just look up cringy stuff from PETA. Like, this is not to say that there definitely wasn't mistreatment here. I have no idea.
Okay, so I found an article from ranker.com. This is 22 times PETA's social media was absolutely the worst.
Can you list me some of the tweets?
Eating chicken can make your child's dick small.
Fantastic.
Hashtag sure sex is great, but have you tried it while vegan?
Can you send me that? Can you send me that?
This is so dumb. Yeah, I'm going to
send it to me in Slack, just because you're on my computer. Just send it to me.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you.
And I'm going to pull it up here. I just the reason I want to talk about this is because PETA has a very strong history of doing stuff to get themselves their own. I don't doubt that there's people that are part of the group that care, right? But they have a history of doing these things to get attention. So yes.
Number 3. So someone didn't think things through, and then PETA said, we saw Pokemon Go as a teachable moment for how people should treat real animals, and somebody replied to them, kidnapping them and forcing them to fight.
One more. No, go down to 5.
5? Oh, Jesus. Calm down, son. It's just a cartoon. And then it says, PETA.
Is it vegan to go fishing? Is it ethical to catch bugs? Is Tom Nook exploiting you?
Leave Animal Crossing alone. That's how some people survive 2020.
Hashtag Animal Crossing New Horizons. They really do. They can't resist. In fact, in the grand scheme of things, what they're saying here about Jackass Forever is like the least cringy thing they've done.
Yeah, but you remember when they had the stop using anti-animal words?
Yep.
And so...
Is that one on there?
Yep, it is number 7.
Okay, let's say it says, words matter. And as our understanding of social justice evolves, our language evolves with it. Here's how to remove speciesism from your daily conversations. Instead of saying, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, say, feed 2 birds with 1 scone. Instead of saying, be the guinea pig, say, be the test tube. And then Michael Rappaport responds, me and my rescue dog want you guys to get the fuck out of this with this horse shit. Michael Rappaport sucks, but that's funny.
Number 11 is my favorite because I actually remember PewDiePie playing this game. It's PETA really can't decide what stakes to take on Pokemon.
Stance to take on Pokemon.
Sorry. While you're waiting for hashtag Pokemon Sword and Shield, that was like okay game. That's when I saw Pokemon like gameplay going really dumb. Play PETA's parody, Pokemon Black and Blue, and basically like it shows like all the Pokemon's like all beat up and bleeding. Oh god, it's so dumb.
12 is hilarious.
13 is more funnier.
Yes. Carnivore is an anagram for coronavirus. Coincidence? We think not. Man, I'm getting dumber.
Oh no, 15 is so bad.
Yeah, they're awful.
15 is where Steve Irwin
was killed while harassing a ray. He dangled his baby while feeding a crocodile and wrestled wild animals who were minding their own business. Today's Google Doodle sends a dangerous fawning message. Wild animals are entitled to be left alone in their natural habitat.
Leave the dead man alone.
I'm going back to this article here. So I'm merely pointing this out as to like why it's hard to take PETA seriously at times, even though they may have a point here with this art, with what they're claiming from Jackass Forever. It says, on top of that, the charity is also highlighting a scene where a tarantula was trapped in a tube and the bull, which they say was deliberately agitated into charging at Johnny Knoxville. PETA also claimed that Knoxville and Steve-O provoked a swarm of honeybees into stinging Steve-O's penis, which apparently killed bees in the process. Don't they die if they get if they use their stinger? Is that like a myth or something?
Well, let me Google that, but I don't think so, because like if there's a dying,
bees die after they sting?
Okay, but in The Simpsons.
Okay, The Simpsons is not real life.
No, but they explain like the queen bee, if they sting you, you're supposed to like hold the stinger while she's about to like release it, but she's still alive.
Yeah, but if the stinger comes out, look it up.
Okay. Do bees die when they sting?
The charity believes that if an investigation is carried out, charges could be made against cast crew, including Knoxville and Steve-O, Chris Pontius, Eric Andre, and director Jeff Tremaine, and producer Spike Jones. The chances of that happening are about as good as Gotham Knights being a good show, but that's just me. Lisa Lang, PETA's senior vice president of communications, told TMZ, if Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville want to make a career out of nasty little boy fantasies, they're entitled to, as long as they don't stress, harm, poke, prod, scare, or bother animals who are used as living props for their idiocy. That was a pretty good clapback, senior vice president lady. She went on to say, PETA is reminding city and county prosecutors that no one is above the law, and while the rest of the world wants to save bees and recognize animals as sentient individuals, these jackasses get it. These jackasses exploit and abuse them for fun. It seems like the bull did most of the abusing in that scene. As well as on calling on county prosecutors to investigate PETA, as well as calling on prosecutors to investigate, PETA is also asking new moviegoers to boycott Jackass Forever, explaining animals are not actors. They didn't consent to these horrific stunts. They cannot consent. I'm not even saying they're wrong. I'm just saying an animal can't consent, dude. Like, they can't.
And also to answer your question, it depends what species of bees, but so it says honeybees, when they do sting you, if they pull out their stingers, it basically pulls out their innards with them. But if it's a bumblebee will sting you nonstop and not die.
Well, avoid the bumblebees then.
But honeybees, they will die because like everything pulls out.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
PETA president Ingrid Newkirk said Jackass stunts are violent and vulgar, but if the talent is willing and the wounds are self-inflicted, that's one thing. However, it's quite another when animals are exploited, harassed, and harmed. That's cruelty. I don't necessarily even think that they're wrong here. I just can't take the sanctimony and the constant need to use the news cycle for them to drum up interest and money for their cause. Maybe that's the only way to do it. I don't know. But to me, it always comes off as opportunistic to me. I have not seen the movie yet, so I don't know. Like I said, the bull seemed like it did most of the abusing in that scene, in what I've seen. But I also don't want to offend anyone, so I apologize if I have offended you.
Well, also, they don't care about human lives, PETA.
No, they don't. If we go back to the 22 things, like there's been more than a couple of them that have said that. Australia is on fire in part because people refuse to stop eating and wearing animals, which are the two leading causes of climate change. Hello, Leap, my friend Leap. That is quite a leap you just took there. Love the new Pokemon, Wooloo. They have a special message for all their future trainers. I'm not your Wooloo sweater.
Oh, God.
Just as it became unacceptable to use racist, homophobic, or ableist language, phrases that trivialize cruelty to animals will vanish as more people begin to appreciate animals for who they are and start bringing home the bagels instead of bringing home the bacon. This is why nobody takes you seriously.
Nope, and especially when you did a purity thing with human skin being clothing.
Yeah.
That was so gross. Like, there's one of a collar where they're like, don't worry, they used to be a dog lover, and they will love this.
If no humans existed, pandemics wouldn't exist either.
What?
Yep. It says, deadly diseases like COVID-19 will keep breaking out until the world stops eating animals.
Oh my god, 22
F off.
22 is the worst one. This can't be real. Just like humans, other animals are not it. And it shows like a woman, her pronouns are she, her, and then non-binary, they, them, a guy, he, him, and then animals, it's the same thing.
Why is the bird the they, them?
Because I believe like some birds, like they can switch their genitalia if needed.
Okay, well that makes perfect sense. That was anytime I read some of the like these PETA things come up every so often, and it's always very, very cringy, and it's always very, very depressing, because they do love to use like these activist causes. Like I said, I don't know if they're even wrong about the stuff with Jackass Forever, but when you make tweets like that, how am I supposed to take you seriously? I can't.
Well, yeah, also they said that milk causes autism.
Should we just move on? Let's just move on to this thing about Criminal Minds.
Yep, let's do it. This one is your favorite show, right?
Not my favorite, but I have a strong attachment to the first 6 seasons of this show. Obviously, anything that goes 12 or 13 seasons, it starts to go downhill. But I loved that original version of the cast, especially when Joe Montana, I always want to see Joe Montana, came on after Mandy Patinkin left, Shamar Moore, Matthew Gray Gubler, AJ Cook, Paget Brewster. A lot of really fun stories in those early seasons about stuff that was really like dark. Yeah. But for network television. But, you know, it went till 2020. It had like a gazillion seasons. Does it really need to be
15 season run like Supernatural?
Does it really need to be brought back already?
No, so, let it die.
You could just, dude. I know it's hard, Hollywood, but you don't have to do it with everything. You can just let some things be. I know that's hard when there's money on the table. But remember, we had the article the other day about how that show SEAL Team went to streaming and it changed structurally and became a different show. That could be what they're looking to do with this.
Maybe, but also, can you just let it die now? Like, but Supernatural needs to die. Criminal Minds needs to die.
I think I saw this coming too because whenever I'm on Instagram, like if you're scrolling through stories, I get a lot of like ads from Paramount Plus, and they're always about Criminal Minds surveys. It's like, take the ultimate Criminal Minds quiz. I'm like, I don't want to take the ultimate Criminal Minds quiz.
Or BuzzFeed when they said, what character are you?
Yeah, so it says, fans of perp hunting before dawn and cyber sleuthing with a cup of coffee, stirred with one finger, not two, after dark may get to head back to Quantico after all, as there's been an exciting new update about the Criminal Minds revival. It just went off the air. Yeah. It's barely a revival at this point. It might as well say it never died. Created and produced by Jeff Davis, the CBS Studios procedural series Criminal Minds about the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Behavioral Analysis Unit wrapped up in 2020 after a successful 15-year run on air catching serial killers and unsuccessful run off air catching flack for not being what?
I don't know, but
does that sentence make sense to you? Okay.
Nope.
And unsuccessful run off air catching flack for not being on air. The series found new life thanks to pandemic era increase in streaming numbers due to the fans binge watching old seasons of the show. That's exactly what happened to me. This show was like big for me when I was still buying season DVDs, which I keep telling myself I'm going to start doing again because you guys really buy physical media because eventually what you'll realize is they're going to take Your show will not be on there forever.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take it down. They'll edit episodes. Things will get censored. Trigger warnings will be added. The best thing you can do for yourself is to buy. If there's a show that you're really, really passionate about, or movies that you're really, really passionate about, buy physical copies of them so that you always have them.
Yeah.
But that's how I got into the show. Is I watched those first 5 or 6 seasons once, during the start of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But it says, catch it off here. The series found new life thanks to pandemic-era increase in streaming numbers due to fans binge-watching old seasons of the show.
Mm-hmm.
According to Nielsen report, the quarantine correlated with Criminal Minds being the third most watched show on Netflix, clocking 35 billion streaming minutes in 2021. Holy crap. Which led to an announcement that the crime drama is getting a reboot. Mm-hmm. In February 2021, Criminal Minds officially received the green light for a 10-episode anthology. So I was right. They're changing the structure of the show. It's not going to be the standard 22-episode season that the original show had.
Yeah.
So it's a 10-episode anthology at Paramount Plus with former showrunner Erica Messer and several of the original cast members set to return for the series revival. I would be interested to know if they would bring back Thomas Gibson.
I don't think so.
I love him. He was my favorite part of it. I loved Hotch. He was my favorite part. His dry humor. When he would have random moments of dry humor always cracked me up.
Yeah.
The time when he's like...
Well, it's the same thing like the TV show Bones. Do you think they're going to bring that?
I hope not. I don't think you can do either of those shows now in politically correct. But she was ridiculously unpolitically, not politically correct at times. There's a really funny scene where they're talking about money and wealth. And she says, I can't comment at this point because whenever I do, I usually get called racist.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. Shows that I love because of the time they were created in, right? Like, I loved Criminal Minds and Bones. Those two started around the same time. I think Criminal Minds started in 2005 and Bones started in 2004. So they're products of their time in a good way. Like, they're very unhampered by identity politics. They're not hampered by agenda. It's, the storytelling isn't always perfect, but it always feels honest. It doesn't feel as if it's being done to check boxes. It feels as if it's being done to tell good stories. So to see these shows come back in this day and age, I feel like there's too many hurdles. Like, it's too much for me to think that they're actually going to come up with something good.
Yeah.
So it says, The Real Criminal Minds, which is inspired by the show, Okay. At the time, Paramount Plus also ordered a true crime docu-series titled The Real Criminal Minds, which is inspired by the show. But 6 months ago, after confirming Paramount Plus had approached the former BAU agents to join the possible reboot, supervisory special agent Emily Prentice, actress Paget Brewster, set fans up for a heartbreak by tweeting that the new series was dead. And it says, Criminal Minds is not dead. Even the BAU and its special agents get it wrong. Well, sometimes. Criminal Minds will be returning for 10 new crime-solving episodes, despite the previous speculation from the series alum Brewster that the project was dead. In July, Brewster, who starred as special agent Emily Prentice, on and off during the show's 15-year run. Yeah, she came and went like 3 times. Told a fan on Twitter, sadly, we think it's dead. I'll let you know if there's any progress, but it seems unlikely, which is a bummer. But then something unexpected happened. During Paramount Plus's Television Critics Association Winter Press Tour, and a surprising twist is good if the TV show's executive producer is talking about is a crime procedural, because let's be honest, how often does this happen anymore with crime procedurals? Paramount Plus network executives confirmed that the Criminal Minds revival is alive and kicking at the studio. Tanya Gills, Paramount Plus's chief programming officer, said, "We are still very much in development on Criminal Minds. We'll have more to share soon, but it is alive and well." We'll see. I'll believe that more when actual casting announcements getting made and they talk about who's actually involved.
Yeah.
But would you be interested in seeing it in like a 10-episode version?
Nope, I'm done.
Not interested?
Nope, I'm done.
I would probably watch the first one out of a kind of a morbid curiosity, because one of the things is that Criminal Minds did better when it was just episodic. It wasn't like nobody really cared about most of the long-term storytelling they did because it's very shoddy. It's not, it's not like it's telling the stories episode to episode. It's like there's like one like extended story, and it gets like a 5-minute segment every few episodes, and that's what it. The brunt of the storytelling is one episode, and then it's self-contained. 10 episodes means it's got to be one through line, one standing plot. They're not just going to do 10 individual episodes that don't connect at all. I don't think connected storytelling was their strongest suit. I think episodic storytelling was. So I would be more excited if it was like a longer series, because that means that I feel like they would go back to what they did best, which was just telling individual stories about individual serial killers and not trying to make it all one story.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'll let me rephrase that. I will probably watch it anyways. Since it's now part of work, I think I could muster up the energy to watch it. I might make you watch it too.
No.
I might make you watch it too.
I'm already watching Jack Reacher, and I have my own opinions about that.
Well, we're going to argue about it because I freaking love it. So we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. So that was that's today's episode, Miracle.
Yeah.
That's everything. That is everything. What did you... Out of all those stories, do any of the, like, I know you're excited, you're loving Vox Machina right now. Do either of the any of those shows from the CW excite you?
No, because I want Supernatural to end. Like, some people didn't like the ending. I agree where they're coming from, because like that ending shouldn't like end like that. Yeah. But it kind of did. But it was like basically their last episode. They filmed themselves like a long panel shot with a drone saying like, thank you so much for supporting us for this long.
Yeah, it's that was so seasons is insane.
Yeah, it was so sweet, but I wish they didn't end it that way. I wish they ended it with the episode before that one. Okay. Because that one was a better ending than the other one.
So there's no reason to keep going.
And then Criminal Minds, how did it end again?
I didn't even see the ending.
Okay, because it
like was... I said, I watched religiously through season 6 and 7. 7 started to fall off bad, and then I followed some of the episodes because like there was a run where Jennifer Love Hewitt did a season, and then Aisha Tyler came in. Yeah, I like the stuff with Aisha Tyler. I like the stuff with Jennifer Love Hewitt, but not enough to keep me strongly invested in the. And also, it just gets ridiculous once you get that many seasons. Like, you can only tell so many serial killer stories before it starts to sound utterly ludicrous. So
yeah, that's why I'm like, you kind of need to end it, because like, what are you gonna do with like all of these like dead bodies? Like, how are you gonna like make it interesting where we haven't seen it?
Exactly. You've like, seen most of the storytelling done. I mean, I guess they could tell similar stories better, but I don't really have faith that the same writers are going to be able to do that with these same characters.
Yeah, that's true. Or they can just find real life Criminal Minds.
I'm not a huge fan of like that's like a big thing, right? Like true crime, like Law and Order, true crime.
Right now, it's like dying in popularity, in my opinion.
But like a couple years ago, it was very popular to make these like Law and Order, true crime. There was the one about not OJ, but that was the one about the.
There was the OJ one, and then Making a Murderer was big.
Yes, those are waning in popularity.
Yeah, but I feel like now people are kind of over it.
Yep. So we'll see. I mean, there's always going to be fascination around serial killers, but I think just do a new show.
Just do a new show. Yep. Why don't you just do one of the local West Virginia shopping cart murder?
There you go. Well, maybe they've done that episode. We'll have to look that up later.
No, I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.